As we await the blessed hope and the coming of our Savior Jesus Christ.
Hello, friends. I'm here to talk about Lucifer, an experience that I had a while back in ritual. Now, these are my experiences, and I'm going to describe to you even what Lucifer looked like, appeared as to me. And I'm going to tell you what he said. Now, understand, this is my experience. You might have another experience. But I felt that I should share this with you. Now this is maybe 8 months ago, 9 months ago. Could have been a year ago. I'm at my grandfather's house, my grandfather and grandmother's house, and I'm about 8 years old. Now, I love my grandfather. I always have loved my grandfather. A Hungarian, came over from Budapest at a young age, worked hard all his life, brought his wife over, and I've always looked up to him. Now, he passed when I was 16 years old. But here I am. I'm at the house, and I'm 8 years old, and I'm opening up the fridge. And my grandfather would always hide pepperoni sticks in the drawer and pulled out some pepperoni sticks, and I walk out of the kitchen into the living room, and my grandfather is sitting in his favorite chair, and in front of his favorite chair is a couch where I would always lay and watch movies with my grandfather. And we're having a small conversation. I can smell the chicken paprikash cooking. It's Hungarian, it's chicken. It's Hungarian food, it's chicken and sour cream. Love it. And as I'm turning and I'm looking at my grandfather, I'm seeing him just exactly how I remember him. Now, he passed a long time ago, but I'm seeing the detail in his face. I'm seeing the couch. I remember it's a gold couch. I'm looking at the picture over. Well, I'm looking at the TV and the detail in the TV. It's really presenting itself as a beautiful experience. Now, I'm just sitting there watching TV and I'm hearing him talk slowly. And he said, I always found Charles Bronson movies to be the best. And as I turned to him, he started to change. I would watch the TV and turn back. I noticed he was changing. Then I heard him say, I've always loved you, and I've always been with you. And I said, I know that, Grandpa. And I turned, and it wasn't Grandpa anymore. It was Lucifer. Now, this is how Lucifer appeared to me. And I hate to say it, but he looked like most of the pictures that you would see on Lucifer. He had no shirt. Very thin, but muscular, veiny in the arms. Pale, almost like a gray skin. White hair, curly white hair. A very distinct nose, almost like a Roman statue nose. Big jaw. A glowing tattoo on his neck. A triangle with a detail, a sigil inside of it. Wings, but not open. A whole bunch of like necklaces as belts, cloth. I didn't look down. I just remember that I didn't look at his feet because I was so amazed of how, if you could describe a perfect human, this is what it looked like. Each side of his face looked the same. Like it wasn't, one side was different. You know how you would have like a mole and maybe one eye would just kind of droop a little bit. It's perfect. Huge eyes, big eyes, black pupils, almost as if you were looking at the drawings of alien eyes. You when you scroll down, you punch up aliens, you see those big eyes. Big eyes. A white aura around him. Now, when he spoke, there was 3 voices that would come out of him. A low voice, a low voice male, a soft voice, and a female voice. The first thing, and when I talked to him, I have to share this, when I talked to him, I didn't use my words. It was like I didn't open my mouth. It was just visually talking to him through my mind. And I asked him, the minute I noticed it was him, I asked him, well, how does he talk to so many people at once. He told me, he said, I'm like the sun. Now, this is how he described it. When I walk out and the sun hits me, I will say, shit, the sun's on me. I feel the sun. I got sunburnt by the sun. I see the sun. Fucking 100 miles away. Gentleman goes out, sees the sun. He sees the sun is hitting him. He said, I'm like that. I am the sun. When he told me that, it was just like everything he said was like an awe moment. Like I'm hearing the truth for the first time. He told me that I'm a seeker, that I'm looking for answers. I have questions. I'm keeping open and just digesting what I'm being told. But he told me that I already have the answers. He told me that we all have the answers in us. We just forgot the answers. That when we go into ritual and we meditate and we get these revelations, they're not questions that are being asked. They're just memories being open. Before we came into this physical being on earth, before we had all the answers, we know everything. He's told me I just forgot, that we've all forgot, that we've been erased. But there is a way of finding those answers through ritual. We'll come across opening ourselves spiritually and finding the same ground as the spirits, putting ourselves behind the veil and letting go of our bodies. We're all one. All of us come from one. And with an explosion, we separated. And the goal is to consciously, for everybody to be on the same plane, on the same horizon. And with this, we'll all be as one again. And that is the purpose of life. That's what he told me. Take it as you will. But when he told me that, it was another aha moment. Oh. This might sound like bullshit to somebody that just doesn't have an open mind. But you have an open mind, and you can get out of yourself and realize that our purpose in life is not for work and just paying the bills and then dying. It's just not. There's a bigger purpose for you and for me. I still don't understand it. I don't. And the truth is, a lot of people will tell you that they have the answers, but they don't. They truly don't. Unless you're a real God, unless you are passed on, and you have those answers, then I would accept it. But we're all searching. Now, this is what Lucifer told me. Trust me, it was a long conversation, and there was other things that I don't want to share, but I thought that was important. The way he presented himself and the way he spoke, never experienced anything like it in my life. Nothing like it. It was godly. It was godly. It was life-changing. It was life-changing. Now, the way I just presented that to you is not the way he shared it. He was using huge words I've never heard before, almost a mixture of another language, but I knew exactly what he was saying. And you have to understand, this was 9 months ago, and I did not write it down, but I do remember it. All of us come from one, and the goal is to be one again. How mind-blowing is that? And that was from Lucifer. A lot of people come to me and tell me that their rituals are not working, their spells are not working. What are they doing wrong? Why are my rituals so powerful? And why are others aren't? Well, it's because I put so much work and dedication into each ritual. When people go into ritual, some will just, okay, I'm going into ritual, and they go in. For myself, I dedicate my whole temple to the spirit that I'm working with. That will take a couple days. I actually meditate on the sigil a few days before I go into ritual. I make an experience. If you're watching some of my rituals on video, you'll see I wear the hood. I use a lot of candles. I make it a huge deal, a huge experience. Do you have to do it the way I do it? Do you have to wear that long hooded cloak? No, you don't. But I mix ceremonial magic with my own magic, an elder, and what the spirits tell me. And I put it all together, what works for me as a practitioner. Other practitioners experiment. If you are following somebody that is practicing and you look up to them, they're probably experimenting with other spirits, other rituals, what are given to them. They're just not sitting on that same ritual. Like the ritual I learned from Belial And I always get that mixed up. And I have to tell you, I always do. Belial and Beelzebub. I don't know why. It's almost like they're so close. They're so close together. You know, you get that same experience. I've made this mistake many times on camera where I even had to edit it out. Anyways, that last rite, that death rite that was given to me, it's a new ritual. It was given to me. I actually went in with Beelzebub almost a month to come up with that ritual, to get it perfected. It wasn't just given to me like in one day. It was little pieces, and I added it and added it. And then when I had it completed, he told me, it is done, go forth. So, new rituals, doing your own rites, that's key. I want to do a shout out. Usually I like to do shout outs every video. This shout out is for a clothing line, Belial Clothing. I'm actually wearing a shirt. That's one. I bought a hoodie for my wife and a hoodie for myself. If you're somebody that likes the black craft kind of look, I had to back off from black craft for a little while. Like, I still like their clothing line, but I find that they're just so commercial. And I wanted a company that had quality material, beautiful logos, and not cheaped out to sell to a 15-year-old. Belial Clothing, check them out. I totally recommend them. I'll be buying more from them, so do that for me. Thank you. That last video I did, the black magician and the spider. You know, I took a lot of abuse on the song that I picked. A lot of people just like the dark side of it. Now, I shared that when I go into ritual, I kind of bring in the darkness, the more sinister aspect of the left-hand path into my rites. But I do a lot of love rites. Now, that video that I shared had 4 rites in there, and each rite was for love. And I talked to each client I performed those love rites for. And they came to me, and all 3 of them, there were 3 of them, that told me that they cried watching that video. That's how emotional it was. I've had people that I didn't perform the rites for in that video come to me and said, you know, that made me weep. Because as dark as sometimes the ritual can be and how it could present itself, there's beauty in these rituals. It's an art. It's the black arts. It's artistic. It's giving yourself, expressing yourself in these rites, you know. And everybody should have the experience of expressing themselves in these rites. Don't be dogma to a book. Open it up. Add your own stuff into it. Add your own experiences to it. Throw some words in that you want, what feels good to you. I get messages of somebody writing out a ritual and asking me, is that good enough? Yes, you don't need me to tell you that is it good enough or not. If you're coming from the heart, then it's perfect. These spirits will come. They will be there. This is a secret to the newcomer. When you're doing these rituals, and when you're done, and you say, fuck, I didn't feel nothing, nothing came, I didn't hear any voices. The next time you go in a ritual, imagine that they're there. Feel confident that they're in that room with you. They're watching you, and know that they're watching you. Go through that rite, knowing that they're there. Keep doing it. That's how you go. That's how it comes. Because you have to believe your ritual. You have to believe in it. If you don't believe in it, then if you're wanting to hear a voice, you're setting yourself up. Don't set yourself up. Believe in the rite. Keep going. Dedication. That's how you get a successful rite. I told you there's no unsuccessful rite. But please, if you're gonna put in the work, don't set yourself up for a fall. Every rite is a success, as long as you treat it as a success. And down the road, you might have an experience. And if you have that experience, trust me, if you're like me, you won't stop. I'm addicted to the experience. When I go into ritual, I have to tell you, right before I go into ritual, when I got the candles lit, I put the robe on, I'm ready to meditate, I'm ready to chant, I'm ready to open my third eye. I'm so excited. My stomach, I have butterflies in my stomach. It's a rush. And the reason why I'm so excited is because it's the experience. What am I going to experience through this ritual? This could be a ritual that I'm doing for a client. It's not a lot. It's not. I experience something through that as well. Sometimes a client will say, so what did Astrov say to me? Well, I'll say, well, it was a successful ritual. And she said she would help you. But at the end of the ritual, it was all about me. about maybe what I was doing wrong, what I should do. Doesn't happen all the time, but it happens a lot. So, just wanted to share that as well. Take charge of your own life. Be responsible. Be respectful. But be responsible. If you say something, yeah, there might be consequences. So watch what you say. Or say nothing. When I'm in an argument with somebody, or somebody starts it in with me, I'll just back away. If I know I'm true and I'm right, I don't need to convince anybody. Some people, it's so fucking important to get in the battlegrounds and fucking debate over something that really means fuck all in the real world. It's like somebody giving a gift to the homeless. Let's say you're giving a gift to the homeless, and you take a picture of it, you make a video of it. Hey, look at, you've seen these videos, people handing out shit, getting fucking pats on the back. That means fuck all. You want to help somebody? Don't tell anybody. It's simple as that. There's power in that. Fucking people don't get it. There's power in keeping it to yourself. Fucking embrace that power. There's so many different ways of having power. And that's one of them, the secrecy. You protect your kingdom, your family. So important. Your surroundings. You know? Protect your kingdom. Let the city burn. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in.